Have you ever imagined how to start an airline? You have come to the right place. Starting an airline can be a complex and challenging process that requires careful planning and preparation. Here are some general steps you can follow to start an airline. Business model selection. The most important details in selecting a business model for an airline are the goals, target market, competitive landscape, and regulatory environment. Low-cost carriers emphasize low prices and operate on a point-to-point network, while full-service carriers offer a wide range of services. Hybrid carriers combine elements of low-cost and full-service carriers to offer a balance of low prices and convenience. Regional carriers operate flights within a particular region and serve as feeders to larger airlines' hub-and-spoke networks. Charter airlines offer flights for groups or individuals who have booked a package holiday or event. Financing. Starting an airline can be a costly and complex undertaking that requires significant financial resources and expertise. Here are some general steps and considerations for financing a new airline. 1. Develop a comprehensive business plan. A well-developed business plan will help you identify the cost of starting and running an airline, including things like aircraft leasing or purchase costs, fuel, labor, marketing, and maintenance expenses. 2. Secure investors or obtain financing. Depending on the size and scope of your airline, you may need to secure financing from multiple sources, such as venture capitalists, private investors, or commercial loans. You may also consider seeking government grants or subsidies. 3. Obtain necessary certifications. Before starting operations, your airline must obtain the necessary certifications and licenses from regulatory bodies, such as the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, in the United States. These certifications will require significant resources and expertise. 4. Purchase or lease aircraft. Purchasing or leasing aircraft is often the most significant expense for starting an airline. Leasing can be a more cost-effective option for smaller airlines, while larger airlines may opt to purchase aircraft outright. 5. Establish partnerships and alliances. Establishing partnerships with other airlines or travel companies can help increase revenue and reduce costs. 6. Develop a marketing strategy. Effective marketing is essential for attracting customers and building brand recognition. Consider developing a marketing strategy that emphasizes your airline's unique features and benefits. Overall, starting an airline can be a challenging and expensive process that requires significant planning and resources. It's important to conduct thorough research and seek professional advice to ensure that you have a solid plan in place before committing to this endeavor. Air Operator's Certificate. An Air Operator's Certificate, AOC, is a legal certification issued by the Civil Aviation Authority of a country to an airline operator. The certificate authorizes the operator to conduct commercial air transport operations. The AOC is required for all airlines that want to operate commercial flights. The AOC confirms that the airline has met the safety and security standards set by the Civil Aviation Authority. This includes compliance with regulations governing aircraft maintenance, flight crew training, operational procedures, and safety management systems. To obtain an AOC, an airline must demonstrate that it has the necessary financial, technical, and management capabilities to operate safely. The certification process includes inspections, audits, and testing of the airline's aircraft, facilities, and procedures. Once an airline has an AOC, it must comply with all the requirements and regulations of the Civil Aviation Authority to maintain its certification. Failure to do so can result in suspension or revocation of the AOC, which would prevent the airline from operating commercial flights. Airplane acquisition. Aeroplane acquisition typically refers to the process of acquiring an aircraft for commercial or private use. This process involves several steps, including determining the type of aircraft needed, evaluating available options, negotiating the purchase price, and arranging financing. The most important details in an aeroplane acquisition process are defining needs, researching aircraft, evaluating options, negotiating price, arranging financing, transferring ownership and registering the aircraft, and planning for ongoing ownership. Overall, airplane acquisition can be a complex process, requiring careful consideration of a wide range of factors. It's important to work with experienced professionals, such as aviation attorneys, brokers, and maintenance providers, to ensure a successful outcome. Conduct market research. Starting an airline is a complex and challenging task that requires significant market research to ensure its success. Here are some steps you can take to conduct market research for starting an airline. 1. Identify your target market. Before starting an airline, you need to identify your target market. Who are your potential customers? What are their travel habits and preferences? What routes do they usually fly? Are they business or leisure travelers? Once you have identified your target market, you can tailor your services to meet their needs. 2. Analyze the competition. You need to analyze your competition to understand what they are doing well and what areas they are lacking in. This can help you differentiate yourself from them and offer unique services that they don't. You should also look at their pricing strategy, fleet size, route network, and customer service. 3. Conduct a feasibility study. A feasibility study can help you determine whether starting an airline is financially viable. It should include a detailed analysis of startup costs, ongoing expenses, revenue projections, and profit margins. 4. Identify potential partners and suppliers. Starting an airline requires a vast network of partners and suppliers, including aircraft manufacturers, fuel suppliers, and ground handling services. You need to identify potential partners and suppliers and negotiate favorable contracts with them. 5. Conduct a survey. You can conduct a survey to gauge the demand for your airline services. You can ask potential customers about their travel habits, preferences, and willingness to pay for your services. 6. Evaluate the regulatory environment. The aviation industry is highly regulated, and you need to comply with various regulations to start an airline. You need to evaluate the regulatory environment and identify the necessary permits, licenses, and certifications required to start an airline. 7. Determine the optimal business model. You need to determine the optimal business model for your airline. Will you focus on low-cost or premium services? Will you operate a point-to-point or hub-and-spoke network? Will you lease or purchase aircraft? These decisions will have a significant impact on your startup and ongoing costs, revenue streams, and profitability. Overall, starting an airline is a significant undertaking that requires extensive market research and careful planning. By conducting thorough market research, you can identify potential challenges and opportunities and position your airline for success. Obtain necessary licenses and permits. Obtain the necessary licenses and permits required by regulatory authorities, such as the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, in the United States. Acquire aircraft and equipment. Determine what types of aircraft and equipment you will need and acquire them through purchase or lease agreements. Hire personnel. Hire a team of experienced professionals, including pilots, flight attendants, mechanics, and administrative staff. Establish partnerships and agreements. Establish partnerships and agreements with other airlines, airports, and service providers to ensure smooth operations. Develop marketing and advertising strategies. Develop marketing and advertising strategies to promote your airline and attract customers. Launch operations. Launch your airline operations, starting with a few routes and gradually expanding as your business grows. It's worth noting that starting an airline is a highly capital-intensive venture with significant upfront costs and ongoing expenses. Therefore, it's crucial to have a strong financial plan and access to adequate funding before embarking on this endeavor. Starting an airline can be a challenging and complex undertaking, but with careful planning, hard work, and dedication, it is possible to create a successful business in the aviation industry. It is essential to research and understand the regulations, market trends, and competition in your desired market. Developing a strong business plan and securing funding is also crucial to ensure the financial viability of your airline. Furthermore, building a talented team, investing in reliable aircraft and equipment, and providing excellent customer service can help differentiate your airline from competitors and build a loyal customer base. Remember, starting an airline is a long-term commitment, and it takes time and effort to build a profitable and sustainable business. With the right approach and mindset, you can achieve your dream of owning and operating an airline.